Okay, we are up and live again. What's going on, guys? It has been 4 months since I'm sure you last saw me and my frizzled hair. Jeez. When people said my hair was getting frizzy, they weren't lying. Holy crap. Okay, try. Yeah, I'm just making it worse. Anyway, yes, guys, the last video that I did was 4 months ago, by this count. And so you're wondering, okay, have I stopped making videos? Am I going to stop doing vlogs? Well, like I've said multiple times, and this is more to the new subscribers. The old subscribers, you guys pretty much know exactly what I said in the last video. But for those of you that are new or have checked out the channel and in the last 4 months are like, okay, how come this guy's not doing new content? For the last 4 months, guys, I've been dealing with a lot of different pressures, with the seasons changing and it now going from, summer to fall and, now impendingly to winter, and a whole bunch of other things. It's rough, guys. It's a little bit rough, and plus I kind of felt like I don't really do vlogs all that much anymore, or really necessarily like many people that are trying to break into or are even in the comics field, that it's not really necessary for me to, every single month or so, every couple of weeks, like let you guys know, like I may go months like I have with this, without doing another vlog, and to me this channel is not what it used to mean to me. Now that doesn't mean that I'm going to abandon it completely, I'm not. But this is going to be more like a vlog channel, more like giving you guys updates, or like maybe doing fun videos every once in a while. Just testing a whole bunch of different things and seeing what works, what doesn't. Although I do have to bring up the funny fact that I like that people are still responding to my lesser known but awesome heroes videos that I stopped doing like 2, 3, even 4 years ago. I find that funny that those videos are still getting like views, hate comments, etc. I still find that funny. I don't get in an uproar about it. I laugh at it because it's kind of funny, that yes, I am monotoningly reading off a wiki page. Yes, I have people making the comments, oh good, he knows how to read. Now maybe he can actually research and do his own stuff. It's like, I laugh at that now because it's such a great evolution for me to go from not being confident in front of a camera, or, trying to spread my love of comics and obscure characters to other people. But I also feel like maybe I should start maybe a secondary YouTube channel. I don't know how you guys would feel about that, but a secondary channel that is mainly like just strictly vlogs like this, and maybe with permission get interviews and stuff the more my comics work starts being like featured and stuff. And I think a lot of it is truly because I'm not going to fully go away from this channel, but I just kind of feel like maybe I should step away from this channel, like use it sparingly, use it every once in a while, kind of like I am now. Like you guys kind of understand where I'm going with this. That basically I'm going to put this channel more on the back burner if I feel like I want to upload a vlog or something. And somebody said, well, Steve, people are still going to track that with you. They're still not, like, I think most of you understand that, okay, the more I kind of start to work in the comic, my biggest fear when it comes to working in comics, especially this year, I know it's my first year, and so I don't expect to get a lot of etiquette stuff right and etc. and so forth, but my biggest fear is that as I advance and I start getting, like scouted, quote unquote, by say, like, say, we'll use Valiant for an example. Like if Valiant sees that I'm, say, like, promoting like Loot Crate or something, that they're going to look at that as well, okay, it's cool that he's doing this, for other people, but is this somebody that we really want to hire and have, work on our books? And et cetera and so forth. And I admit I'm a motor mouth, and I've learned to try to not be very motor mouthish, but I've learned also how to be confidential, how to, be professional in the comics industry, or at least like bring some sense of professionalism and common sense and intelligence that you would expect from anybody that you're working with. I think it's just all in my mind, guys, that just, in doing this first year, I'm learning a lot of things, both good and bad, about the comics industry. And mainly a lot of the bad is just me dealing with my own personal procrastination and laziness, which less and less I'm trying to break myself out of as a habit and start really sitting down and, okay, I need to at least like write for, a half to whole hour, maybe an hour and a half, um, a day or every other day, and like try to really fine tune what I'm doing. But I think it's also, guys, the fact that I'm trying to move on in my life, and the fact that, okay, in a couple of years I'm going to be 30, which isn't very old, but in my mind, it gives a clarity that I'm probably maybe close to the half point of my life, at least in my own opinion. So I want to start, like, branching out. I want to start, like, mentally and physically, getting myself in better shape, in a better place. And I'm getting there, guys. I'm very much getting there, and I'm very happy. I don't get really as depressed as I used to. I get frustrated still. I get frustrated and annoyed. But that's just, you accept the good with the bad with yourself. But I think what's also cool about me is I don't really get too awfully depressed anymore. And I think a lot of it is because at least what work I have been able to do, or what's been put on the back burner, etc., and so forth, or whatever connections I'm making in comics, has helped me soothe feeling depressed, that sense of, well, I'm not accomplishing anything with my life, so what does it all mean? What's the point? No, it's now more the frustration of, well, okay, am I going to have enough to help, pay bills for, for this month on, say, like this utility, or, pay for water or electricity, etc., so forth. Like very normal things that we all go through in day-to-day life. But in terms of, oh, like, I just recently found out that I'm going to get to go in November, that the day that somebody will actually help switch with me on that day, and that, it was talked about between all three parties involved, myself, the person I'm switching with at work, and, our HR person. And so I'm going to possibly be going to my first wrestling event in many, many years. It's not WWE related. It's not. I would, it's going to actually be, more MCW, Maryland Championship Wrestling. Like, it's kind of cool that, the state that I live in has a wrestling promotion. So it's going to be kind of fun to go there. I don't expect it to be like WWE quality. I expect it to be like independent, like, working in a gymnasium kind of stuff. I'm fine with that. To me, I'm not just like a WWE wrestling fan. I've started getting into watching New Japan. I do watch Lucha Underground, and even though I don't know Spanish, I have watched some AAA, and so I'm trying, I've always said, if it's not comics, it's wrestling that I probably would have gotten into. So it's something I'm looking forward to, and it's something that I enjoy. And it's not just going to Maryland Championship Wrestling. It's not just going to Baltimore Comic-Con. I would like to go to other cons, but unfortunately, I would have to save up money severely for travel. And let's face it, I'm not exactly in a position to really negotiate that per se. But I'm fine with it, because I mean, I'm starting out. I don't expect to make a lot of big money And holy crap, I forgot. I'm staring into the camera now after 10 minutes of talking and realizing I still have a little bit of like a thick jowl or double chin. But, you know, I don't know why I get self-conscious about that. It always makes me feel like I have a thyroid problem. Like, most of you guys will know what I'm referencing. Some of you will think that I'm just being weird or overly self-conscious. But I've made a lot of good connections, guys, and I think what's also the most important thing is that I'm happy. You know, that I'm in a happy place. And I said that 4 months ago, and it's still very much true. Despite the stress, despite the stupidity around me, which I'm not going to get into because it's both personal and professional. It has nothing to do with my comics work, but it's like, workplace drama and, like, well, there's not really too many personal issues. Like, a lot of it is more self-contained. It's more stuff with myself. But a lot of it, it is very personal, but also very minor. Like, it's not going to affect me adversely. And I wish I could talk about my latest project, but I can't. I'll put it this way. The opportunity that I'm given, much like the Oni Press, much like the Oni Press, like open talent call thing or open submissions, this is a very similar opportunity, I can say. Most of you may know what I'm referencing, but of course I'm trying to keep it confidential. But I will say that there is an opportunity that I'm hoping at the end of next month to have done, and once that's done, then a certain date in leading into next year, I may or may not get it. I'm not going to be 100% confident that I will get it, but I'm not going to be 100% like downgrade on myself, because I've had, despite the setbacks, the hardships, loosely keeping in connection with a lot of people, and just overall trying to find a balance in doing this thing, this year has been phenomenal. Like, I truly can honestly say that I expected my first year of trying to write comics and trying to break into doing comics was going to be difficult. But I didn't also realize that it was going to be so rewarding, because I've met a lot of talented people. I've actually befriended on Facebook a lot of talented people. I actually have 2 comic pros that I recently friended, and it was kind of cool to take that step. I did fanboy out, and obviously, when you're meeting comic professionals, especially ones that you like or that you get introduced to and start to kind of know, not on a personal level, but just like know enough to where it's like, hey, it's like, why don't we keep in touch with each other? That's fun. That's fun to me. And of course, I'm sure the two comic pros will know who I'm referring to, and it's funny because I did pace my floor. I've noticed this. Every time I fanboy out, I always get the urge to go into my living room and just like pace back and forth, or I pace back and forth in my room. Like, I don't know why, but that's just like an odd habit that I have. I just pace like nervously, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like feel like I need a brown paper bag, just like, ugh, just like that whole like weird paper bag hyperventilating technique. Calm my breathing. I've also been trying a couple of mystery boxes, guys, as I've mentioned. I will save Loot Crate for last. I am going to try Loot Crate at one point. But right now I'm trying Marvel Collector's Core, which is definitely one of my favorites. So I'm looking forward to that, and of course it's every 2 months. And I got to buy some of the previous boxes, except for those of you that, sold and bought all the villain packs. I kind of hate you guys, because I wanted to get the villain pack that Marvel Collector Core had made. I did sign up for a nerd block. I'm not looking forward to the nerd block quite so much. Like, I don't hate it. obviously because I'm trying these for the first time. I do like that Nerd Block when you do first subscribe to them, that they give you like a $20 worth, like, welcome box as like a free gift. I like that. I will admit that that's, a very cool thing to do when you get somebody who's a first time subscriber. And I tried the sci-fi block, which is the newest block that they're coming out with. I thought about trying the comics one, but I'm a little bit leery about that. Like, I may rotate the boxes just to kind of see how I'd feel about each one. Um, I tried Comic Bento, and I will admit, yes, I did do the October one that was curated by Gail Simone. So yeah, I did kind of cheaply do that. But I may let the next month, like, roll through on that too. Um, and I did get to buy a couple of the boxes from the previous months or so, and I love those books thus far. Which, anybody who hasn't subscribed to Comic Bento, um, it's definitely a cool mystery box, like comic service. Like, it's all graphic novels, guys. It's all like graphic novels or books. And they usually pack 4 of them, and it's like a $60 value for like 4 books. And they randomize them. It's not just, oh, it's one particular group, but like many mystery boxes, it has a theme, and it goes with, a lot goes with the theme, and it's always kind of cool. Like, a great example is one that I'm currently working through, which was last year's December box, which was called Colors of the Season. Which, obviously when you think of Christmas, even though we're not near Christmas, when you think of Christmas, you always think of what? Red, green, and like, silver and gold tinsel. Yeah, I know, that's not always for everybody, but that's usually the stereotypical colors. Let's be honest, for Christmas. So in that box, you had Top Shelf Publishing's The King, which was like a black and white colored book about Elvis, or an Elvis impersonator. That's so good that many people believe that this is Elvis trying to make a comeback by impersonating an impersonator. And a tabloid reporter is trying to uncover this, like, mystery around this Elvis. And gets kind of more than he bargained for. And second one after that is the original Britt Reed and Kato, so it's like the original Green Hornet from Dynamite in a mini series from what it looks like a mini tie-in called Blood Ties, which that was cool. They actually had an image book, which is a remastered or republished version of the first volume of Savage Dragon, which that got me giddy because I have little to almost nothing of Savage Dragon, especially even when I was, a kid growing up in the 90s. So that was fun to kind of actually, like, have a character that I always used to watch cartoons for, and that I wanted to try to get more comics for. Because I had, don't get me wrong, I don't have like 1 or 2 comics, but I had like at least like 3, 4, possibly 5 Savage Dragon comics, but I just never really could find the full volumes because they always were usually like sold out. So it was cool to have like a reprint or so of like the first volume. Like Dragon's Origins and stuff. From Valiant, they had a Bloodshot volume. I believe it was the second or third volume of Bloodshot. So this is just a prime example, guys, of like what each of these, like boxes contain. Like, they always will have a theme. They'll pick and curate books around that theme, and then they will like ship it out to you at the end of the month. Marvel Collector's Core is usually every 2 months. And I'm looking forward to December's, because December's is going to be a Guardians themed box, which that should be fun. So anybody who is a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, you might want to hop on, at least for that month, a Guardians box. So that, I'm looking forward to that. So it's like, so far, Comic Bento and Marvel Collector's Core, just on the surface, seem like the two that I may, may like stick with or like rotate every once in a while or like every few months or so. Like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Anyway, we're running on 20 minutes. I did not mean to make a 20-minute video and sit here like bragging about Comic Bento and all these mystery box services and etc. and so forth. But guys, I'm loving this year. I'm loving where things are going. I'm I'm very much well, guys. I know maybe possibly a few of you are a little bit like nervous, like, okay, it's been like 4 months, what's been going on? I'm just taking my time, doing what little writing work I can, and also just in between, just like trying to enjoy myself, just trying to enjoy life. I'm not neglecting you guys purposely. I'm just simply moving on. I don't want you guys to feel like this is like one of those like weird, awkward like movie breakups, because it's not. I just hope that you guys understand that I'm just moving forward with things that I want to do. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to pop in and like do a vlog like I am now. Like every couple of months or so, or whenever I feel like, hey, it's like maybe I should do a vlog video and just like, let people know what's going on. Let people know that I'm still like alive and not dropped off the face of the earth. Now, I haven't dropped off the face of the earth, guys. I'm trying to keep myself busy for one, and two, I'm trying to establish an actual true sense of normalcy in my life. And I'm having fun on events. I mean, you guys can follow me on, and if you guys do actually feel lonely or you want to, like, follow me around, etc. and so forth, I'm always on, like, Twitter and Facebook. You guys can find me. I've actually thought about making a fan page on Facebook in advance for, like, all the stuff that I do, which I think is probably a good idea. I don't know. You guys can give me your own thoughts. Even the trolls can poke fun at me. But you guys think, even though I know it's my first year, it's like, do you think that setting up a fan page in advance would be good? And also, I'm thinking about trying to start my Tumblr back up if Tumblr hasn't deleted it yet, which it seems like Tumblr probably did. So I'm trying to get a lot of things going, but if you guys want to find me, I'm Steve Kelly07 on Twitter. You guys can try to find me on Facebook. Probably will be linked through Facebook. And these videos tend to get automatically uploaded to Twitter as well, so you'll find these videos on Twitter regardless. I mean, etc. and so forth. I could go on, but we're almost at a half-hour mark, and I don't want to do that to you guys. I know most of you have busy days, busy lives, and you want to get back to your kids, etc. and so forth, or you're on the go, you're near your business meeting, you're trying to meet deadlines, etc. and so forth. Trust me, I understand that daily grind and that daily hustle. So with that, guys, I will let you all go, and I'm gonna probably maybe do some reading before I go off to bed, because I gotta look over my stuff. I need to get a couple of things like signed, written over, and but I may end up just like reading, because I got so many books to get caught up on. And I think it's a good opportunity anyway to get caught up. So with that, guys, I will let you go. And I will see you possibly in the next couple of months, maybe a couple of weeks. It depends on how the mood strikes me. But I figured since it's been a long, long while, almost practically an eternity, I thought that I would just let you guys know that yes, I'm still active. Yes, I still will be using this channel, but it will be sparingly. So don't be surprised if in another, say, like 4 or 5 months I pop up again. But just know that, yes, I'm trying to be hard at work and I'm trying to work on my comics stuff. That I'm trying to, you know, very insanely break into this industry that I've loved since I was a kid, and that I have partial aspirations of making it. I don't want to say that I'm going to make it and then I don't. Don't do that to yourself. Biggest tip that I can give you, kids, don't set the bar so high that you can't achieve it. So, words of wisdom. Also, when, oh when, are they going to lower the price on Petridge Farms meat logs? Seriously, $8, $9 for one stick.